about young Scooter, man. Talk about crazy when we talk about young Scooter. Now, this young Scooter situation went from, okay, so when the initial reports came out, a lot of people believed that young Scooter had lost his life, had gotten shot downtown Atlanta, around the corner from where the Sweet 16 was being held, right? That ended up being somebody totally different who didn't lose their life. They ended up living from that shooting, right? Young Scooter's situation took place at the very same time.
Bruh.
So those two stories got mixed up. So young Scooter's situation involved him being at a house and there being a 911 call about some sort of false imprisonment or some sort of somebody being held against their will. And police did what they supposed to do. They acted. They showed up immediately. Went to the front door, and young Scooter and somebody he was with allegedly tried to creep through the back door. Now, what's the crazy twist on this is young Scooter, in the act of trying to escape the situation, ends up getting his leg cut or caught or something like that, and fatally wounds himself, leading to him bleeding out at the scene and ended up losing his life, right? Crazy. Like a 1 in a million occurrence that somebody catches their leg on a wooden fence, a wood fence. You would even think like a metal fence, but a wood fence, and they end up impaling their leg to the point where they hit an artery and bleed out and die.
Bruh.
Like, what are the chances of that? That's like crazy. All these are crazy occurrences at the same time. What is the chances of there being a guy get shot at the same exact time that young Scooter was in his situation, and that guy get reported to losing his life, but end up making it, and then everybody thought, look, young Scooter made it and didn't die from the injury, and that being somebody totally different, then young Scooter end up catching his leg on a fence, getting impaled on a fence, and ended up losing his life because of it, man.
Bruh.
This is crazy. This is like 1 in a million occurrence next to a 1 in a million occurrence, just stacked on top of each other, right? So this is an even crazier part of this story. So they're saying this young lady right here, who is pictured, ended up making a 911 call that set all of this in motion. And allegedly, she made the whole thing up. Huh? Yes, you're reading that correctly. Woman who made police call night of young Scooter's passing has been arrested for making a false police call. So they're saying that nobody was being held against their will. That young Scooter and them, I don't know why they ran, could be a multitude of reasons, but she allegedly made this call and nobody was being held against their will. None of the stuff that she said actually happened. And young Scooter ended up losing his life behind it. That's a dang shame, bruh.
Bruh.
Now, with all the 1 in a million occurrences that happened in that night, from the shooting to the other guy, to him surviving, to young Scooter not even being involved in that, to him losing his life on a fence, this is another part of the story that I just can't get with. It's crazy. Now, arrest update. On April 1st, so yesterday, 2025, 31-year-old Demetria Spence was taken into custody by the Atlanta Police Department and charged with transmitting a false public alarm under OCGA 16-10-28, subsection DX2, if serious bodily harm or death results from the response of a public safety agency. All right, so a couple of years back, there was a rare occurrence where people were calling in, what are they called? Where you falsely make a call. Somebody tell me in the chat, for those of you who are in here, where you falsely make a call or you on somebody while they're on a live stream. And, people were ending up getting shot and stuff like that. So if you make a false call and somebody ends up getting hurt or they die from that false call, you could be held responsible. Now, if they die and you really made that call maliciously, I think you should get charged with the death penalty. you should get, well, not the death penalty, excuse me. You should get charged as if you had committed the murder yourself. So you should be charged with, say, a second-degree murder charge or a third-degree murder charge or a third-degree, manslaughter charge or a first-degree manslaughter charge or something that coincides with that charge. Swatting. Thank you, Jalen Jones. And thank you, Monty Devil. Swatting. So there was a lot of swatting going on. So every state kind of got together and, on the federal level, they got together and said, all right, if somebody gets killed behind these from people swatting, we're going to have rules and laws in place that, you're going to do some time. And if this led to young Scooter losing his life, she deserves every minute of time that she gets. I don't know. Call me what you want, because that's scary, man. That's like me being on this live right now. Even though it's only a few of y'all in here and I don't go live much, that's like one of y'all. Hold up, man. Bad juju. I don't even want to wish that to existence. Let's not even paint that scenario. But let's continue with the story. You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's basically what I read right there, but it's continued. It says, Miss Spence was wanted for her involvement in making a false 911 call regarding a person injured, deceased incident that occurred on this redacted address that they don't want to show on March 28th, the day that young Scooter died. Crazy enough, young Scooter's birthday as well, right? So dude died on his birthday based on the fact that this lady made a false 911 call. Now, Miss Spence was transported to Fulton County Jail for processing. Please be advised that Fulton County Sheriff's Office is the record holder of booking photos. So this woman also admitted to it. So a woman admits to calling authorities to home where young Scooter was. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. Now, if that's true, sad situation, right? But based on everything we've seen thus far, I don't know if she's all there, man. And I don't know if that's true, but let's check it out, what she said.
Myself. That's the issue. That's part A. I never had any intentions to get anybody hurt. I was the one that was getting hurt.
All right, let that be true. But if you're not in the house, why call and say there's somebody in there getting hurt?
And I came here to say my truth. That's it. That's all. I don't want no clout.
Yes, you do. You want clout for this, or else you wouldn't have went to social media to say this. Let's come.
Bruh.
Stop it. Get some help.
When are we going to start keeping it real? That, man, there is a part of social media. Man, maybe there needs to be some sort of light. I know you can't do that. But some people do stuff on TikTok and social media and stuff on social media to get attention to the point it teeters that line to where this might be some mental illness or some craziness in there. You know what I'm saying? I hate to quote Chris Rock, but what happened to crazy? You know what I'm saying?
Stop it. Get some help.
Because, bruh, you jumped back on the social media and talked about this for clout and attention. Let's keep it a buck. Let's go.
I don't want anything. All these troll pages, y'all don't know me. None of y'all know me at all. At the end of the day, I'm a woman, and I was physically abused multiple times.
Now, we're not condoning any of that, and if that's true, that's wrong. But why make up a fake scenario that was happening in a house that you're not in, which ends up getting somebody else to lose their life, which results in someone else losing their life? You know what I'm saying? You can't play the victim when you're the cause of somebody else losing their life. You know what I'm saying? And it's all on you. Like in this situation, you're trying to justify what you did, it sounds like, but you could have just called the police and say, hey, somebody did something to me, and you didn't have to make up a fake scenario about that house and all that. No, because that lie there, that was the evil that led to young Scooter losing his life. But let's continue.
There's a reaction for every action. This is part A. You guys didn't have part A. You guys only had part B. And the narrative, it looks like I was trying to set this man up because you guys don't have part B. I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue. That's part A.
But if you're not in the house, if she wasn't in the house, why from not being there would you make a false call? Like, make a real call about what's happening to you. Why make up a scenario about somebody who's in there that's not? Like that, like I said, man.
Stop it. Get some help.
Social media got some of these people acting crazy out here. I ain't gonna lie, man. Maybe there do need to be licenses. I don't know, man. Or a test or something. Let's
Hey, I never had.
Okay.
There was literally.
Okay. So this is a continued part of her response of why she made the call that indirectly or not directly ended up with young Scooter losing his life. Let's go.
The shooting, the house. I'm literally the neighbors next door. The house of the address that I just gave you. There is literally.
Oh, my bad. This is the actual call. So let's sit back. Make sure we give her the benefit of the doubt or whatever, and, hold our prejudgments and listen to this.
A whole domestic dispute going on. There's like 7 guys that live in this house. And
What's your name?
I'm sorry, what is my name?
Okay. Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm the neighborhood watch, and basically.
I don't even think she was the neighborhood watch, so that's lie number 1.
Like I said, these guys they're like selling drugs in and out of the house. All you see is guys coming in and out of the house with guns.
All right, so she starts off, she's the neighborhood watch, reporting some guys selling some drugs.
Guns and stuff, they holding guns in the air, and then it's like, I'm not sure if they're pimping, but
so now they're doing some other illicit activities along with the selling of the drugs while simultaneously holding guns in the air. I mean, even the 911 operators probably listen to this like, okay, so they selling drugs, but at the house they selling drugs out of, they holding pistols in the air and guns? Like, please come get us?
Stop it. Get some help.
Bruh.
I'm telling you, man, social media is crazy, bro. This wasn't even on social media. This was the actual call.
It's the situation that's going on right now. This girl doesn't have on any clothes. They threw her outside. He was fighting the girl. He literally fought the girl. I'm not sure what they was fighting over. If they was fighting over drugs, that's what it sounded like. There was literally a shooting. The house.
Now, what Tubi movie did she watch before she made this call? My bad, not a funny situation, but god dang, bro. This sounds so made up. I'm not saying it is. This possibly happened. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Stop it. Get some help.
But let's continue.
I'm literally the neighbors next door. The house of the address that I just gave you. There is literally a whole domestic dispute going on. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting.
Now, was there ever a report? Y'all tell me. Was there ever a report of gunshots or shots being fired? But I guess, somebody got thrown out the house because of they were fighting over drugs where they sell drugs. But somebody got thrown out. Some young lady got thrown out the house naked. When the police showed up, was she outside naked? Let's continue. This is a wild 911 call. This is crazy.
But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's disturbing the area.
How many shots were fired?
I would say 3. It was 3 shots.
When did it happen?
It's happening now. Yes. And
it's happening now? So, like, while you're on the phone now, it's happening?
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, let's continue.
The girl is hurt because she was, like, bleeding profusely, like blood everywhere.
Okay. Do you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, she's trying to get away, and they're holding her. She's being held hostage. Like, they brought her.
Now, that statement right there is the statement that brought all the force of the law to that door. Like when somebody is being abducted or they're being held up against their will, they got to come and act on that, man. So when she said that, that really set things in motion. You know what I'm saying?
The guy that was fighting her, she ran outside naked, and then he was fighting her outside. And then there was another commotion. She tried to get away. He dragged her back in the house. So now they're at the door, literally fighting. It sounded like they were fighting over drugs. And then they started shooting. She had someone come over there, and they started shooting. But the house needs to be investigated. They're definitely doing illegal stuff over there, and it's just trying to get out. And he's refusing to let her out. And it's like 7 guys in the house. There's also a child in danger as well because she has a baby.
Now, I hate to say she was making up stuff. Maybe all those things did happen. That's all she's seen, all that going in and out of that house from outside of the house. But those key words that she said, somebody abducting a child, somebody abducting a woman, they're being held against their will, the police are going to act in full, like it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So indirectly, she was already sending them over there. They had no choice. Plus, shots fired, there's a lot going on at one place.
Can you give me a description of the male?
The male is like has like a caramel complexion, low haircut.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black and he drives. I believe.
What
well,
color shirt
like
and pants do he have on? Regular blue jeans and like a regular like t-shirt. And I think you guys should get here quick because this girl is.
Now she didn't answer the question exactly. She said color pants. That was a qualifying question. She was like, "What color pants and shirt does he have on?" She was like, he has on a regular t-shirt. Like, when you see somebody, you remember especially when you just seen them, you remember what color t-shirt they had on. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty odd. Things would have to happen in between that before you don't remember what color shirt and pants that they had on, the person that you just seen.
He's really hitting her, and it's a child involved. It's like 7 guys in the house, and they all have guns. You guys need to hurry and get here before she doesn't make it.
Ma'am, we already have help organized for her. What's
trying to get out? And he's refused.
Okay, now that was the end of that, but that's just a sample of what took place that ended up with young Scooter eventually losing his life. Man, my bad. There you go. Young Scooter losing his life, man. You know, rest in peace to young Scooter. I don't know why he ran if there wasn't anything going on. That's his business. I know it's a sad situation because, you know, he's one of them unsung kind of heroes of the Atlanta scene there. You know, as far as fashion, as far as music and things of that nature. But this lady has been arrested. And regardless of what went down in this situation, it looks like, man, the weight of the law is probably going to come down on her. And she's probably going to see some sort of penalties or charges for what took place, right? Now, on to my next story, or I should say my final story.